Hello everybody, today we're going to be looking at my Wolves only theorycraft for Season 4. So real fast, how and why does the build work? With the new temperings being added, we have 43.4% cooldown reduction, 43.4, 43.4. So this gives us a 0 CD on Wolves, so we can spam the ever-living heck out of them. And the really cool thing about the Wolves is that they have the highest CDR roll of the companion efficiencies, so it's very, very much easier to get these to a 0 CD than it really is any of the other companion skills. So, awesome. Yeah. So the next thing with the temperings is you can see here you have plus wolves damage, and then you can also see here that you have plus wolves attack speed. So we are going to be absolutely juicing their attack speed and damage, and the really cool thing is that your companions gain 100% of your stats, and your wolves are going to actually gain your just regular attack speed as well. So building attack speed is going to be pretty beneficial, right? You can see here I went attack speed virtually anywhere that I could do it, with the exception of the amulet, which I believe I can do attack speed on here. But the reason I didn't is because I wanted the +2 ranks to Envenom, because that's 20% multiplicative to my critical strike damage bonus. So I felt like that was pretty much, I think that was worth it to give up the 15 or like the 20% attack speed, whatever it would be for that. Now there is one unique that is going to make this build a lot better, and that's Storm's Companion, for the specific reason that it gives them +7 to wolves, which is just like pretty cool. Like, I mean, it's just great. Like, that's just a lot of that's just a lot of ranks to wolves. It's a lot of damage. And then the other thing is that it makes them have the Storm Howl ability, and it changes their animation on how they jump. They no longer jump, they blink. Now, yes, they did get unstoppable, but at the same time, this turns their active into like an AoE ability as well, I believe. Unless that was a bug and it got changed, but yeah. I haven't used Storm's Companion in a while, but last time I used it, it definitely was turning their active into like an AoE ability. So when the fact that you can just like spam it is just wild. Now, they did also say in the campfire chat that they were doing a lot of updates to make certain things work together. So I am curious on if like they're ever going to make the change, if they don't do it now, but like in the future, to make it to where wolves do become a storm ability. Because if Storm's Companion ever turns wolves into a storm ability, the game has completely changed for wolves in terms of damage, at least. And the reason I say that, especially for Season 4, is because if you're not aware, the meta, or like what the best S tier builds are going to be doing for Druid, is they're just going to be stacking damage to close with temperings, and then they are going, so you go here, I'll show you, I'll just show you like how crazy the damage to close is. Yeah, so 187% here. Now granted, that's max masterworking and stuff like that, but still, so you can get like I think 1,000% up damage to close, and then people are using that to go into the Paragon board and where's it at, and abuse Thunderstruck. So because you get like 1,000%, that means you can get like a 200% multiplicative damage bonus using Thunderstruck, which is just wild. So I'm praying for the day that they do make wolves a storm ability, because oh my gosh, would the damage be cracked when you also consider the fact that, you know, they also have Aspect of the Alpha, which is a 230% damage increase. Just wild, really, just wild. But yeah, but I mean, even without that, you can still see you can get like a lot of additive damage for wolves. So plus 462% wolves damage. I'm really hoping they add a Paragon board that like says, you know, when you get like plus companion damage or plus wolves damage or something like that, it also gives them a multiplicative multiplier that like they can add on top of it. So it like rewards them for building various stats. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, so that's kind of the core of how the build works. When it comes to other things, you know, we're running things like Juggernauts for extra armor. We're going ranks to wolves because if you're not aware, they changed it to where you can only do You can only do one of these now, and then if you do choose like the plus strengths to all companions, it's like half as effective. So like it rolls like a 1 to 2, whereas the other ones roll 3 to 4. And you can see here this gives plus 8, so you have a whopping 20 ranks to your wolves. 20 ranks to wolves, 13 if you don't have Storm's Companion, but still that's a lot of ranks to wolves, right? A lot of ranks to wolves, right? So max life, armor, wolf attack speed, debilitating roar cooldown. Max life, armor, debilitating roar, wolf attack speed, debilitating roar cooldown. Now the reason why I went for debilitating roar is because it gives you a bunch of extra CD on that. So if you look over here, we have it down to 15.84, and then with this stuff it's like 11, 22. It's going to help get our debilitating roar CD down, because we need it to be pretty much just below 15 seconds is the goal, to make sure we can keep up our bestial rampage. So that's the main thing, and there are other things you can do as well to get it up. This is just what I thought was pretty alright. Yeah, Storm's Companion. So then we have the bestial rampage. It just makes it to where this applies to your wolves, and this is really good actually for the wolves, because they're going to get that attack speed and the damage. They actually get like full benefit from this, whereas something like Poison Creeper only benefits from one side of it. So bestial rampage is actually pretty cracked for like a wolves only build, because you can see here, like, look at the sheer attack speed that I'm going to have. So 30. So let's see, let's just add it up. So 30, 55. Okay, 88.5. More attack speed, so that's going to be like 112 plus another 130. Oh my gosh, 170 roughly. We're just going to round it up. 210, and then 230, so 250% increase to attack speed, plus this, so 280% increase to attack speed, plus if I wanted to, I could get rid of the crit and I could go swooping attacks, 290% increased attack speed. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of attack speed. That is a lot of attack speed. My gosh. My gosh. These wolves are going to be going at Mach 20, especially when you think about how they're going to have 0 CD. It's, oh my gosh. I really hope that they don't nerf the cooldown reduction ones. Like, I really hope they keep that the same. Like, my god, it's just going to be such a fun season for companions. Oh wait, I forgot about this. 25, so 325% attack speed. 325% attack speed to the wolves. Let's go. That's what we need. We need wolves that attack fast, because remember this. Your wolves are still going to die, so when you take Storm's Companion and you increase their attack speed, if you kill everything before it kills them, how are they going to die? Huh? 200 IQ. 200 IQ. I know, I'm a big brain. I'm a big brain person. Oh my gosh. But if you don't want to do the whole bestial rampage thing, you can drop this, and you can just go Ursine Strength. Yeah, but anyways, then we have Concussive Strikes. So this is going to give us a free 20% increase to damage. Obviously, we are going to be proccing this like mad with our 300% attack speed. So it's just a free 20% damage multiplier. Moving right along, so boots, just critical strike, grant movement speed. I just try to stack as much movement speed as possible, just so we could be fast. Here I did go, so I went wolves damage, and then I went the elemental surge. So on the PTR, elemental surge is absolutely busted. So I'm just gonna be completely honest with you, like, they're probably gonna nerf this, but I still think that this is the best stat you can go, because when we look at like the other stuff, like, what else can I really go here? Like, why do I care about rabies duration, right? Like, I'm not trying to buff rabies. I don't care about no rabies. So I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, what's gonna happen here? So the only thing I really see here is the elemental surge. It's literally the only thing that does anything. I mean, I could do petrify duration. I mean, like, that's actually pretty good. But even then, it's like things should theoretically die so fast. Like, I think there's probably going to end up being a tech where I make 2 weapons, where if I'm fighting like a boss that has a lot of health that I'm trying to kill, then maybe I'll do this, because 150% on petrify, so 7 seconds. So that means this would last for like 20 seconds on a boss. That's, or 17 seconds or something like that. So that's actually pretty baller, and it would last for like 10 seconds on just regular enemies. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool, I have to say. That's pretty ballin'. Okay, yeah, but anyways, moving right along. So we have aspect of the alpha here. This turns them into werewolf companions. It gives them the ability to spread rabies and increases their damage by 230%. Just big damage multiplier, like just big damage, big damage. Okay, and then we have critical strike damage here, and a big part of that is because of the fact we run petrify. We also are running Avian Wrath, and then we're also running, you know, the plus ranks to Envenom. So we actually get a ton of extra critical strike damage here. Let me see if it shows me the exact amount. Yeah, so you can see here I get 593% critical strike damage currently. Now, when it comes to the petrify, that's going to increase us by 50%. So I'm going to have about 900% critical strike damage whenever I petrify stuff. So I'd say pretty good. Moving on to the amulet. So we're going Necklace of the Stampede. So they did do a nice little buff. They buffed it up to 30%, which I know it seems small, but it actually makes it to where, like, Stampede is pretty useful to run on either the amulet or the necklace now, because it's going to be better than Edge Masters. It's going to be better than like Conceited Aspect. So it's better than all these other little aspects. So pretty nice buff. We're going to go Call the Wild, Crit Chance, Envenom, Wolf's Damage, and Wolf's Cool Introduction. Call the Wild got buffed as well. So by having 2 extra ranks into this, that's a 24% multiplicative damage increase, because you get 12% out of it now per rank. So that's pretty nice. So I decided to just try to masterwork this as well, because, you know, why not? I'm still not 100% sure, but I feel like this is probably the best thing, because it's a multiplicative damage multiplier, and the rest of what I could get is all going to be additive. Critical strike chance, so you can see I have 52% crit, just putting crit on my rings and my gloves, so that's pretty cool. So moving right along, Edge Masters, 20% damage increase. It's really the reason we run this. There isn't really any other crazy good options. One thing I was thinking about though, and this is a tech that you can only do with Storm's Companion, is so it makes these guys deal lightning damage whenever you have on Storm's Companion, right? So this is dealing lightning damage and gaining the Storm Howl ability. So what's cool about that is what that does give us access to are, hold on here, where was it at? I think it's overcharge. So because we attack so fast, right? So overcharge aspect, up to a 15 to 25% when dealing lightning damage to overload the target for 3 seconds, causing any direct damage you deal to them to pulse for 5297 to 7504. Now this is actually pretty buffed, because they actually made it to where it scales with your weapon, like all these flat ones scale with your weapon damage. So when you do get Storm's Companion, there could be a pretty decent argument, considering we have, like, what was it, 300% increased attack speed to our wolves, that, and on top of the fact we just get to spam our active here, that maybe overcharge aspect would actually be pretty good, because wolves do have a lucky hit chance of 50%. So you have like that's like a 10% chance to just start causing pulses. I mean, in my mind, that seems like it'd be pretty good. Let me see. I think there's another one. What was the other one? Rune Runeworker's Conduit, maybe? I think that's what it's called. Rune. So you have, okay, so critical strike. Oh, never mind. So this one is specifically with storm skills, so never mind. That's not as good. But the overcharge is actually pretty decent. And one thing I will also say is that with Storm's Companion, you actually get a 4th boon. So dealing lightning damage has up to a 40% chance to cause the target to emit a static discharge, dealing 25% lightning damage to surrounding enemies. So if you have Storm's Companion on, you want to go Overload, but we don't actually have anything that can proc any of this, which is hilarious in my opinion. Oh wait, sorry, I guess we have Rabies, but like OMG, we have one thing that can proc Masochistic. But if you have Storm's Companion, you do get Overload, and you do have the ability to maybe drop Ring of the Accursed Touch. But the thing is this does give us pretty easy access to Vulnerable, so it's kind of hard to say if we should drop this, because this is like technically like a 25% damage increase. But what you can do in the Paragon, if you want to, fix that, is you can just go Exploit. So for every 5 Dexterity purchased, you deal more increased damage to vulnerable targets. And then when an enemy is damaged by you, they become vulnerable for 3 seconds. So not bad. It does give you some decent access. It does give you some decent access to vulnerable. Another thing you can do is, what is it? Nah, never mind. That's not gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. What you can do though is, what am I doing? I actually totally forgot about these. What am I? Hold on. Actually, I don't think I actually care about this or any of this actually. This is actually kind of interesting to do. Lightning bolts. So that's actually a multiplicative damage increase we could potentially proc, since we're actually able to spam our wolves and since they deal lightning damage. So this again is just another tech you can do with Storm's Companion. Is this will give them 21% multiplicative damage sometimes. So that's pretty okay. So anyway, so that's pretty cool. All right, sorry, I got off on a tangent, but yeah, so you can fix the whole vulnerable thing with Exploit. So you could theoretically just get rid of Accursed Touch for Overcharge, which I think is pretty darn cool. We don't want to try to run Hunter Zenith or anything like that, because we lose Wolves damage, cooldown reduction, like the stats you lose now, like Unique's kind of got nerfed. Like this is an exception, right? Because you get more damage out of the +7 ranks than you would running like a regular pair of pants. Like I'm losing 40% attack speed, 10% debilitating roar cooldown reduction, but it's kind of whatever, right? Like it's whatever, because I'm getting +7 ranks to wolves. That's just insane. And I'm also getting damage reduction, which is a stat that is only on uniques now. So yeah, and I'm also getting max life, and I'm getting companion movement speed. So I'm getting a lot of good stuff. Let me put it that way. Okay, so when it comes to the Paragon board, or actually let me show you guys this real fast. So this is what the skill tree looks like. Nothing crazy. So 84% there. I do max this out because it gives me extra CDR. I don't run Storm Strike. I just put 2 points. You can put 2 points in anything you want. There, it's whatever. Digitrade Gate. This gives us just more movement speed, because I am trying to make this build fast. So I want to definitely try to make this build fast as heck, boy. All right, so the Paragon tree is going to look really similar to the Ravens build if you saw this video, so I'm just going to pull this up over here to show you. So if you want easy access to vulnerable, you can throw Exploit right here and just put like the dexterity nodes. If you're not running Ring of the Accursed Touch, you're trying to do the Overcharge tech. But otherwise, this is pretty good because you are in human form whenever you cast wolves, until they decide to make it a werewolf ability, which in my opinion is what they should do, but it's neither here nor there. So yeah, and it gives you 10% damage reduction while in human form, which the damage reduction from glyphs is actually like way more important now, I feel, because of the fact that they dropped all these other damage reduction stats. So stacking damage reduction in your Paragon, I think, is pretty good, right? Then you come up here, we have this Wilds. This is our main companion damage thing, so 267%, or I guess companion damage glyph. Some more additive companion damage, as well as we're getting 130% increase to the passive portion of our companions, which is going to be pretty damn good when you think about 3 wolves attacking at 300% faster. So yeah. Yep, so then we have Spirit here. So because we're running Envenom, because we're running Petrify, this is giving us a 200% critical strike damage increase on top of a 12% damage multiplier. Just really good all around. Heightened Malice, which we're proccing with Rabies. So that's pretty good. Not particularly good on bosses, but good on everything else. So 10% damage reduction here. More damage while fortified. Because we're running 3, like here, we're running 3 of these skills. And we're running Bolster, so you're going to be fortified pretty much all the time. Right? Moving right along, coming up here, Territorial, more damage reduction. I really am kind of favoring the whole damage reduction thing. One thing you can do though, when you have, again, this is another Storm's Companion tech, because you don't have to have Storm's Companion to do this, but I just want to point it out because I think it's important. Okay, where's it? Fulminate. Okay, so for every 5 dexterity purchased, actually, I think this is just strictly better. I think you actually should just run Fulminate. Hold on. Let me see which one of these I should replace. I think... No, I don't want to get rid of the damage reduction one. I think... Hold on, let me see what I have access to here. So what you're going to want to do is... Okay, so there's 45 dex here. Heightened Malice, Constricting Tendrils. What am I using Constricting Tendrils for? Oh, I'm using it for this one, huh? Yeah, okay. So I don't want to get rid of this, but what is probably pretty smart... Maybe for me to just delete this board. Yeah, let's just delete this board, because I think Guzzler is going to be the one that we want to get rid of the most. We go here, we do Survival Instincts, which, oh god, that blows. We're not even going to ever be in Werebear form, but... Oh god, we're going to have... Okay, that's unfortunate, but it's okay. No big deal, because the main reason why we want... this, because we're going to do this. Then we're going to go Fulminate. Then go bam, bam, bam. Okay, bam, bam, bam. I don't even know if it's worth it to do that. Like, I don't even know if this I don't know, maybe it is. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't know if it is. But yeah, so this is something you can do here, because you want that, because the fact that it gives you 12% increased lightning damage to both healthy and injured enemies is actually pretty good, because it's going to help like the one-shot potential of your wolfies. So that's pretty good. And then as things get lower, it's going to increase their damage a little bit more too there. So that's definitely going to be pretty good. Another thing, let's see here. I want to say, where is the Fang and Claw? No, it's not that one. Is it Outmatch? No, that's not it. Where is it? Keeper? I guess Keeper could be good, but I don't know. Because, like, again, this is another Storm's Companion thing you'd have to have, because it's increased non-physical. So, I don't know. Like, that could potentially be good, but I don't know, actually, because I'm trying to think of, like, what would we... So, it could be good, but you'd want to run it in a place where you're getting damage reductions, and I almost feel like it would make sense to run it here, but then you'd be losing additive... You'd be losing a bunch of damage from your spirit, which I don't like. That's okay. Actually, or you could... No, you can't do it there, because I actually want to swap these and put this here, and then put this here. I guess it doesn't matter that much. I think they're both 97% now that I'm thinking about it. Actually, this one might be a little bit less. No, it's 9.9. This one's not. Oh, actually, it doesn't even matter if you interchange them here. But yeah, so that's yeah, that's what the Paragon looks like. That is what the old Gone, the Gone looks like. Because unfortunately, we don't have like a solid. We don't have any like Paragon board stuff that's like really good for companions. Most of it's just kind of like meh or whatever, you know. So yeah. But let's see here. I think that's really going to do it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys a quick theory craft of this build, just so you guys can kind of see it, get an idea of something you can do to make a absolutely cracked wolves build. Now keep in mind the wolves do die. However, my theory here of this build working is having no CDR. So you're just able to spam it so much that like it's gonna make it hard for them to die, because if they don't have a cooldown, okay, and like let's say there's like an explosion effect, right? Like you should theoretically be able to like use their active here to make them dodge stuff, right? Yeah, they're probably still gonna get clipped by stuff sometimes. Like for example, if you like kill a pack and then they explode and there's like nothing for you to target to do the active. But I mean, more often than not, I don't think that's going to be the case. So like if you're smart with your wolf micro, I think the wolves will actually live a lot longer than people think they will. Yeah, because they do have a lot more health and stuff like that, and they do inherit your armor and stuff now. So they do take a decent amount less damage, and they do last longer up to like a higher tier. But they also increase kind of the bar, since you can go to like pit 200 and stuff like that now. So. Yep. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.